Hello for the 26th week in ordinary time of the year. Using Ezekiel 18, verses 25 to 28, and the Gospel Matthew 21, verses 28 to 32. Question. Where in Lexington, Kentucky do you find the best French bread? Answer, at least in my opinion. Well, there's this little wine and cheese shop downtown Lexington on the corner of West 2nd Street and Jefferson. And that is where you can find the best French bread in Lexington, a French baguette. Well, the other day I went in there to get myself a baguette. And a nice young man behind the counter said, "Oh, Father Hehman, Pax Christi. I used to go there." "Oh, you did? Well, where do you go now?" "Well, I don't go anywhere. Ever since I went to college, I don't go to church on Sunday anymore." Well, you can always crank it up and decide to go again. And very calmly I smiled and said, "This place here has the best French bread in Lexington." And I bought one. We chatted a little bit, and I didn't get upset, but I just walked out and says, "This is good bread." He used to go. He doesn't go anymore. Well, why not? Well, I don't have time now. Well, you can always crank it up. You can always start again. And that reminds me of these two sons with their landowner, the father, in the gospel reading. Two sons, and the father says, "Go and work in the vineyard, son." And son one says, "Sure," and doesn't go. And son number two says, "No way, I will not." The one who says, "I'll go," he never made it. He didn't go. And the one who says, "Absolutely not, over my dead body, I'm not going to work in the vineyard," he decides sooner or later to go work. And the parable, who did the Father's will? Well, looking at that as far as the Father's will, well, the Father, the landowner, stands for God. God's will. What is God's will in my life? Well, God's will is the Father's will, or Jesus' will, or whatever you're going to call it. And we can very easily say, "I will not. I don't buy that stuff." Or, "Yes, I do, and I will do that stuff." It's a classical story of what I do with my life. Well, if you look at it through God's will, the question is, does God want me to worship? Does God want me to pray? Does God want me to go to church? I think the answer to that is pretty much yes, at least according to my perspective. How about yours? But the bottom line is, what do I do with it? Am I like son number one? "Yes, sir," and then not. Or am I like son number two? "No way," but eventually does. This is a classical thing that we're still even talking about, going to church on Sunday. Do I have to? Do I want to? I'm not going to. I won't miss. This applies to bigger things or many different things, not just going to church on Sunday. In your marriage, will I stick with my marriage or not? Will I give money? Will I volunteer my time? Will I be honest with you? Will I call you into question? Will I say I'm sorry? The whole concept of our Christian religion is I will or I will not follow it through. So that young man in the bakery is like one of those two sons. I think that young man in the bakery is like all of us. We're called, we're chosen, and we respond. What I like about it is there is freedom, and we can always change our mind. We can always crank it up again. We can always decide, well, maybe I better say I'm sorry, or maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Classical parable. What do you like? Son 1, Son 2. Have a good day.